Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge. We're gonna hit the circle with the friends. We got Chad, one of the OGs, back with us.
How you
Mad
doing?
Money from Ohana262, welcome back to the show.
Howdy.
And Adrian Joel from One Tribe Foundation coming on again to talk about some things. What's up, fam? How's it going?
Pretty good, man. How's everybody doing?
A couple of our other guys like Justin down here, he's not able to join us today, but I know he's watching on his phone, so he'll still be hanging out with us. Got some others, and I know it's probably our shortest turnaround bringing a guest back on, but there's a reason for that. We'll get to that too. Yeah, we did throw up a new intro today just to change things up on the countdown. No other reason than just to make it look different.
And I lied. I do like it better.
I do like it better.
I said nothing could make me like it better unless it was 1 minute. But it's
That is
badass.
true. You did say that.
But I didn't know it had the new logo. I love that. That's cool.
I figured the other one's been around a while. Why not change up some things?
That one's tight.
What? We'll do routine because again, not a review show. We're gonna just smoke and talk. So what's everybody smoking? Just kind of what we're doing, and then we'll start shooting the shit, man. What you got, Chad? Since you're up in the top left at the moment.
Right now, I'm smoking a little Winston Churchill Bellicoso. I like these little guys because they're pretty quick smokes.
Yeah.
About 30, 40 minutes. And then I got on deck, I got a King T.
Nice.
Nice.
You know me.
I dig it. Man, I'm inside my lady's house, so I'll be just doing some good old tobacco.
I want to see you smoke that.
That's probably smart.
Roll it up and smoke it. Fuck it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm out of the office, so no cigars here.
What you smoking, Pat?
Keeping it casual, dude.
Yeah, I respect you guys for not smoking when you probably would get in trouble for smoking inside somewhere. So I'm hitting up Dapper Sempre Rosado.
Oh, yeah.
Probably my favorite out of the Dapper line, I think. Except for the Cuba Clara that isn't made anymore that I've been on a hunt. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to interject here and tell you.
Justin says just smoke it, man. Just
okay.
El Borracho Maduro is my favorite Dapper.
Ask for forgiveness
far and away.
Well, I don't know about that, Chief. Their house is really nice, so I don't want to fuck that up.
Pat, you got my audio?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
I can hear you, Chad.
I know.
Yeah, so Chad warned us ahead of time, and we're just going to preface this. Michigan is dealing with some weather at the moment, so if we lose Chad, we will bring him back. Probably means a tornado tried to take off his phone and threw it across the yard or something. Yeah. So if Chad just disappears,
or if you see my
we'll get him back.
window back here instead of a flag soon, that could potentially really happen.
Yeah,
man. So what's the weather like where you're at?
We've had storms all day. So since 3:00 in the afternoon, we had thunderstorms and high wind, and so right now it's calmed down just enough, but like I'm soggy. My whole front porch is soggy. I'm sitting on a towel on my chair that I normally sit in to do these because everything got soaked.
Justin couldn't show up. What a loser.
But it's not raining right now, knock on wood, and the wind right now is manageable. So
yeah.
But we
maybe we'll get a stretch of
make it some gusts. We'll see.
Oh, what's up, Gil?
What's up, Gil? The Hollow Down family coming in. And I will tell you, Chad, the Borracho Maduro is, if it's not my number 2, it's really freaking close.
I love that cigar so much. That's one of the ones I think about when you lust after a cigar. That cigar is one of the ones that I'll like, yeah, I got to have one of those here soon. That's how I know I'm in love with that one.
Yeah, and I do that with this one, so I completely get it. And I don't know what Justin is smoking right now. I don't know what's going on with that man. So,
La
like,
Hoosier.
Lahu Zahur. I like it. Dig
I
it.
don't. Is that what you're smoking, Justin?
oh my goodness. Well, I guess if he
It's
can't be here, he's still here in
well,
other
he
ways.
said
So,
money got it,
hey,
so
yeah.
apparently that's an inside
Ace
joke.
Ventura. Ace Ventura action right there.
Well, you know how Justin
Ah,
is. You know how Justin is with his movie quotes. So you never know.
It's the tism.
Anyway, since we have side railed incredibly hard, incredibly fast, which is great. For those of you who are returning and have got to hang out with us when we brought Adrian onto the show the first time, I'm not going to ask him to give the hour-long spiel. Always go back. I think it's episode 81, 82, something like that. We brought him on. But Adrian, for those who may not have met you last time, give us a little short update again about what you do, who One Tribe Foundation is, and before we kind of get into some of the updates we're going to talk about.
Okay, so One Tribe Foundation started off as 22 Kill in 2213 in reference to 22 veterans a day that take their lives from VA study done in 2012. Since then, we have taken on law enforcement, first responders, and their families as well for mental and emotional wellness and suicide prevention. And in that morphed into One Tribe Foundation as mental and emotional wellness is a human problem, not a demographic problem. And we do these things through traditional, non-traditional therapy. I'm the outdoors program manager, so anything outdoors, we have wind therapy. We have a Golden White Star family program called Watch, where the children are heroes. And then we also have an Unmasked program, which is our uh, peer group therapy. We have 3 different types for that, and suicide prevention education. And then also just teaches further resiliency through other things like meditation, yoga, and other things, just kind of make your mind more resilient. So that's the
I love it.
Admirables all get out.
And I know I said this on the last show. It's kind of a double whammy of meaning for me, being a veteran and a police officer. Obviously, I knew about um, 22 Kill originally shortly after I got out of the Marine Corps, because it was about the time y'all started,
mm-hmm.
and then seeing the progression over time. And then realizing that I had the chance to meet you guys in person after the fact was pretty cool. Like many guys, I started with the push-up challenge, learning who you guys were. Just kind of a cool thing. But the fact that y'all expanded out and doing other things, I think, is a good deal. So, but the reason we brought you back on this time, and we tried to work it out with schedules to bring you on in May, and we just couldn't line up, schedules. But I know that y'all do a few different things that I think are pretty cool. One specifically in May, and so kind of wanted to let you talk about. I know it's past at this point, but the things that you do in May, especially start looking towards Memorial Day, and the things that you do on such a big day that matters for the the veteran side of the community, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So what all kind of events did you guys just get through, and how did everything go through those?
So May is probably the busiest month of the year for us, because we're not just doing our peer groups and our community building events, but we're also a part of Evolution called Carry the Load, which is a national nonprofit overseer and brings other nonprofits together in the mission to make Memorial Day into Memorial May. And that's a huge evolution for us, because we're out we're out visiting our corporate sponsors. We're out engaging the pardon me, sorry. We're engaging the community with walks, with events, and things of that nature. Our social media picks up quite a bit because it means a lot to us. All of us are. It's also one of our big fundraisers. So we're we have our each own individual fundraising campaign here on staff, and then everybody that's on our team. And so in all of that, we uh, this past month, May, was really kind of hard for us. If you follow our socials at all, we lost one of our uh, co-founders in late April, and so we've been dealing with that all of May, and finally we're able to, get him laid to rest and in peace at Dallas Memorial, June 5th. And so with that, carried a little extra weight in making sure that we honor those that gave their life for our country, for our freedom, that made the ultimate sacrifice, that probably would do anything to be here today in any situation. And Carry the Load is an evolution that takes place on Memorial Day, the Sunday before Memorial Day and on Memorial Day. We have a base camp where two other foundations camp out with us: Adaptive Training Foundation, which trains adaptive athletes. Um, and as you can imagine, most of them are usually veterans or first responders. And Irreverent Warriors, which is an international organization that gets a bunch of veterans in the most short shorts that you can find, and they do rucks around the country to tell jokes, build camaraderie, and help combat suicide. And they camp out with us every year. We work their hike the week before Carry the Load. And so it's a good collaboration for us together too. And then we pay the pavement, as we call it. Katy Trail has 7 miles lined up of memoriam cards, and has a big setup in Reverchon Park where we all come together. And we just carry those names of the ones that we've lost, either to line of duty or killed in action or to suicide. And we honor them in the best way we know how, which is building for their community, coming together to tell their stories, and just make sure that their names live on, because you die twice, once in the physical realm and the last time that your name is spoken. And we're doing our best to make sure that their names are passed on to the next generation.
It's a lot of weight for a lot of good reasons. So we get to talk about organizations of different types that do good things for the community, right? But sometimes I think it's easy to overlook I just want to say, I guess, the emotional weight that you guys endure to put on stuff like this, because you understand the purpose and the meaning behind it. So there's a lot of respect that we give to that regard, because even functionally knowing what you guys are doing, there's no way for us to know the entire weight of everything that you're dealing with to support the next person that comes along. So it's definitely respectable in that term. And on one hand, I don't want to get too far on the emotional side, but the other point, that's kind of the point too, so
Well, with it comes a lot of vulnerability, and because we have to lead the way in being vulnerable with our own mental health and with our own emotions. Uh, Almost all of us participate in one of our peer groups in one way or another. Whether it's a retreat that we do or anything of that nature, we have to lead the way if we're going to expect other people to be vulnerable. And through that, it's also a weightlifting thing for us, because if we're being vulnerable and we're being honest with ourselves and with the people that we're sitting with and the people that we're helping, then at the end it lifts a lot of weight. Like, one of our peer groups is called Resiliency, and we go in there, and it's we generally have a topic, but we'll go in there and we'll talk for a little bit. And when everybody's being honest with themselves, it's amazing how we just kind of walk out of there a little bit more resilient. and a little bit stronger, and we're able to take that with us. And then, we did a retreat back in April, a fishing retreat, but we had a peer group session, and alls I asked was, what branch did you serve? How long did you serve? How long you been out? And what does the outdoors mean to you? And I of course, uh, let it off for what the outdoors mean to me, and I was open and honest about it. And between 8 guys sitting around that living room that night, what could have easily have been just a 30-minute go session turned into 2.5 hours of guys just being honest and open, and just
Yeah.
laying it all out on the table. And those are the kind of things that we do that help us. But also, I mean, it can add some weight, but also, as you can see, somebody letting some weight go, and you take that from them for a minute, for a little bit, it also allows you to let go of some of your own, because these guys aren't going to be honest with you if you're not honest with them,
Hmm.
and that's across the board. That's in all our peer groups. One of our other peer groups, Tribal Council, like, it's real easy because some of those guys have been in there for a little while. So when you try to BS the situation, they're like, stop lying. You got to be a little bit honest,
Right.
and it even happens around, like, when we do and it's crazy because it spills over into everything that we do, whether it's our monthly hike, whether it's our guys' poker night, whether it's the women's luncheon. It's funny how it just kind of all spills over, even in kind of the events that aren't designed, or program events that aren't designed to be like a peer session or a therapy session. It's crazy how it just spills over into everything, and almost everything that we do. And um, there's ways to come out of it lighter, as long as you're being honest and vulnerable.
And I was kind of having this thought here, and Gil beat me to it
Yeah.
and said you can't expect someone to be open and say they need help with you if you can't say it yourself when you need it.
True.
Yeah.
And it we to why this works with the cigar community so well is why we've had you on twice now, is there's various forms of, well, there's multiple ways that you can have therapy and rebuilding and emotional strengthening. And in a general aspect, like with what we do, you just have bonding over friendships over cigars. You all get to take it to another extreme. You actually get to go out there and like you said, bringing those vulnerabilities out to the open, so you can, you can't, I don't want to say fix, but you can't strengthen something that you haven't admitted to yourself is a weak point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're you're given all those chances for connections. And people get scared sometimes when you say the word therapy, but it's not. Therapy isn't just sitting in an office staring at somebody with a notepad. There's
Yeah.
so many different ways of doing this.
It's often just honest and open discussion, man. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of, we were just kind of on a staff retreat because we all needed a recharge. And a guy opened up his ranch in Oregon, and we went to one of his cabins that were on top of this mountain. And there's no electricity up there, so the only light we had once it got dark was fire. But we all sat up there on the porch smoking cigars. And when we started, and one of the guys decided to just take the lead and lead it into a thing. And I mean, it was a hard mountain to get up and get down, but it was completely worth it for the time that we were up there. And we had a few other people with us, of course, the family that hosted us, and then a few people from the community. And man, it just, as we just kind of eased back into smoking our cigars and watching the campfire go and kind of staring at the stars, and then it just kind of just naturally took off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like we all got to say a little bit of a piece. And it amazes me every single time, whether it's this staff retreat we just went on, or if it's one of our retreats, or even if it's just something we just happen to get around, how cigars just happen to open that up every time. You're just able, just it's like
Man.
you sit back and you relax, and you're enjoying a good cigar, and just it the cigar aspect, at least for the guys that have always participated, have it always seems it's like a quicker, relaxing thing. Whereas sometimes you see some of the guys that are, and it's nothing against them for not having a cigar, but they seem to tense up. But and then it takes them a little bit while longer to relax. But because at our retreats we don't allow drinking or anything, so we got to find the way. The cigars are
Yeah.
kind of a natural way to kind of bring that into, hey, we're going to kick back, we're going to relax, and we're just going to go from here. And it's pretty awesome every time. I brought up last time when I was on how at the last Muddy Bottoms we were at, JJ and I were sitting in our golf carts, just shooting the crap while we were trying to stay dry, hiding in the rain in the golf carts, just trying to shield the
Yep.
cigars enough to stay lit. And I mean, we were even smoking cigars going down the river rafting, hitting a few rapids and stuff. And I'm sitting there trying to paddle, and then I'm trying to paddle with one arm while the cigar's up here. And then, just like all of a sudden, like popping it in my mouth and just, Arnold Schwarzenegging it down the river. So,
Yeah, man.
but it's crazy how that, and that's what I appreciate about being on here, because it gives that, it helps me look at it more on how the cigars have played an aspect into, the bit of therapy that we bring into any of our programs. There's a couple guys that even come to our poker night. We're not allowed to smoke inside, but occasionally they'll just go out and they'll bail on, the first 2 rounds of blinds, and then they'll just be hanging out playing smoking cigars while we finish playing poker.
Right.
Just come in, they're like, so who won?
It's something that we know at this point, but it's still kind of an interesting anomaly how this product does what it does for us. Like, I can't really explain to you how. I just know that it does.
Yeah.
It gives you an excuse to, on the simple nerdy point, it gives you an avenue to talk about a product that you have similar interest in, and that can be a gateway in itself.
Mhm.
But the fact that it makes you slow down to enjoy it, it's not, it's not like a burger that you've thrown down in 3 minutes. This is something that's going to take you some time if you do it right. How much time will be determined on which one you pick up and what you've got to do and what your setting is and all those things. But as you get into it and you start those conversations, it gives you the avenue to open up with your buddies, whoever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that you start, whether it's true bonding or just becoming friends in conversation, however far you go with it, based on this simple product right here. And it's absolutely insane. There's a lot of products across the world that, you can get into and have friendships with, and I think I kind of talk about, there's, you got the sneaker collectors, just like you got the hot rod mechanics, but like this interest group does something different, and it's kind of insane in a good way. So I don't know. I know I could beat that bush to death, but
you are right. The best part about it is it does help you or make you slow down.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good part, and it also is kind of a common denominator of everyone. If everyone's smoking a cigar, then everybody can either chat about the cigar they're smoking or segue into something else from it. But
yeah,
it's definitely a great way to chat, man.
And it's an easy way to bring strangers together too, because
Exactly.
I've been in cigar shops where guys are sitting around lounging, and I've walked in, or I've seen somebody else walk in, and they might be not know exactly what they're looking for, and somebody steps up and suggests something to them, and it goes about that way. Or a few years ago, we were down at Port O'Connor, and we brought in a few Marines and a couple Army veterans that had never met each other. it was just kind of sheer reference. Hey, come down to Port O'Connor. We're going to do some fishing. And we sat on the front porch smoking cigars and started going about it with the host and with our sponsor that took us down there and everything else. And it was funny because I only know the guy that was sponsoring the fishing trip, and nobody else knew each other. And we just all just sat there and opened up and had a good time, and it just kind of brought us all closer before we were about to go hit the water the next day.
That's
And
awesome.
then when we came back the next night and had some more cigars, it was just like
Yeah.
we really barreled down and just we had like a really just awesome session, and we did that one around the pool. So we were all just lounging back and smoking cigars in the pool and just have probably one of the best peer therapy sessions I've been able to be a part of.
Yes.
That is
Hell
incredible.
yeah.
On another note, I'm still impressed by your cigar and paddling routine.
Yeah, that's intense, man.
I didn't, ADD brain. I didn't want to cut you off. But like I was sitting there, it's like, man, I don't think I could do that because I can barely kayak in my own regard with two hands. So
What I like
Um,
about it is that it also just ties in like a cigar smoker will smoke in any kind of weather and like, apparently any
Facts.
type of activity at this point. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. I love it though.
Chad's dealing with a torrential storm that it's behind the camera and he's still smoking. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not going to stop.
It's not too bad right now. It's just
Finally
it's
calmed
just
down a little bit.
windy. Yeah, we don't have any more rain. It's just windy.
He was warning me before the show. He's like, man, if I don't make it, it's because my porch is gone.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sitting on a towel and things are a little
Yeah.
soggy. So
Uh,
That's pretty wild though.
But yeah, so I'll put this up at the end as we rehash. But is I like One Tribe as a good group. If you've seen, like I said, they started with 22 Kill, which is if that'll show up because I don't have the logo. That's kind of the original logo right there. But as they've morphed, this is how it is now. Like you said, bringing the human tribe together. It's not just veterans anymore. So if you want more information about them, whether it is for yourself, it is somebody else, if you just want to donate or you do need some resources, you can go to their website right here. It's onetribefoundation.org. That's the number one, tribefoundation.org. You can reach out to them, questions, donate, whatever you need, general contact there. And I got several good guys that'll help you. So if you want to learn more, you can reach out to them. And I always give this avenue. If you have a question that you're not sure and you don't quite yet want to put yourself out there, that is perfectly okay. You can send a private email to thehollowdown@gmail.com and I can get you to someone personal if you're not wanting to put that out there like that. But that's kind of what they do too. So it's not throwing your stuff out there. It's not any of that. And I know that's a worry for people that if I say something, everybody knows. That's not the case. So whether it's for you or someone else, we're here for you. So reasons we're kind of big supporters, and it ties in with we do the Cigars for Warrior stuff because we're believers in that whole aspect of the world, and this kind of ties in with that. Helping people on a mental level is kind of the point.
Yeah.
There's different aspects to do it. So is there anything that y'all have got? I know May's a big month. What's the rest of the year look like for you? Any other big dates that we should watch out that y'all might have going on? Or
So we have a golf tournament that will be in October. We haven't set the exact date for that yet. We have our annual motorcycle ride that will be in October. That will be out of Maverick Harley Davidson in Louisville. It's crazy because it varies anywhere from 300 riders to 600 riders. I think it just depends on what's going on that weekend and the weather. That's always a big one. We got a lot of other muddy bottoms, of course, on Labor Day weekend.
I'll be there for that one.
That's a whole lot of fun. And then we have all our little stuff. We'll have some program events and stuff in there too. Um, but the one that we always top the year off with is our season of giving, where we adopt anywhere between 20 and 30 families that are having a rough go of it, whether it be someone's recently passed away, a house burned down, or they're just in need. We adopt 20 to 30 families and make sure that Christmas is provided for them. And so those are the big ones. But man, we are really, really busy and blessed to be so. We're trying to fit in a whole bunch of program events. We just recently had a ranch just say, let us know when you want to come and we can go up there and fish or kill hogs or do whatever whenever we want.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Hog
We
hunting with an AR out of a helicopter.
Not a helicopter, but you can do it out of the truck. um, uh, and we have other guys opening up. We have partnerships with other organizations that allow us to use their places out in East Texas and West Texas. And we just had this family that hosted us for our staff retreat in Oregon. And man, what a genuine group of people, the Sunnybrook Ranch in Lake City, Oregon. We're working on trying to get some things done with that. Of course, um, that comes with a, diligence with that, considering the amount of what travel is.
Right.
But we've been blessed with a lot of opportunities that now, instead of trying to work program events around our fundraising events or just events that we're invited out to get our name out in the community or whatnot, now we're having to look at how do we work our events and our fundraising events around what we're doing program wise across the board, whether it's wind therapy, whether it's outdoors, whether it's unmasked, whether it's watch. And man, isn't it's and I
It's a
know I
good
said
problem.
blessing a lot already and on the last show, but man, it's a blessing. And yeah, to have those kind of people and opportunities in our life and
Yeah.
associated with the organizations, and we're building these relationships and uh, nurturing them and just pressing forward, man. And
And then, and I won't bring this back up in full again, but it's kind of amazing to realize how strong your outreach has gone. And you're what 13 years in at this point, roughly,
mhm,
and it's a bigger thing than I think a lot of people realize. And like Justin brought up on the last time you were on, it's made it all the way to Joe Rogan and Bradley Cooper.
mhm,
And I mean, I think The Rock's done some things. Like there's these people that are very nationally known, recognize your endeavors and are talking about it. Because and the blessings are there because you're getting to help people. Like that's your goal, that's your target. So you're realizing you're getting to do the thing that you're wanting to do to help other people, right? It's not a selfish endeavor.
mhm.
In fact, it's probably one of the most selfless things you can do because
Yeah.
you're spending a ton of time and effort and energy to help somebody else, and yes, it's what you do at this point in your life, but the biggest return you get out of it is the simple fact of knowing that you got to help somebody. It's
Yeah. Some of the hardest things that we do as a staff is take a call, and it's somebody that's in dire need like right away. And those things weigh on you. But when you follow up with them and you know that you've gotten them some resources, you sat with them through the hard moment, and you're able to hear that they made it through as you're checking up on them. I mean, that it makes those hard moments worth it. And we're never going to bat 1,000. That's pretty evident with uh, losing Andy. You know, the, you know, it's the hardest part is, encouraging people to do the work, and that's what we're going to continue to do. We have a thing around here that's, right things, right reasons. Bad days are guaranteed. God will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And that's just how we operate. Right things for right reasons. And if that's not being done, there's somebody here that's going to call you out on it, and set you straight or send you packing. And and that keeps us honest. It keeps us humble. But and we don't know how far our reach goes sometimes, because it's a little bit of a trickle effect. Um, but those rare cases where we're able to see the immediate success stories, uh, uh, it it means the world. And even though it might be only a few immediate ones that you see throughout the year, it makes the rest of everything that you do worth it. And especially like with Memorial May, seeing people take on and ask the stories of those that we lost, and our loved ones and our brothers and our sisters, and that goes so much further. And especially when you can do that walk with someone that you've been walking with throughout the years or multiple years,
Hmm.
to help improve. And what comes with that is you don't just help improve their lives, they help improve your life too. So
And it's a tough spot to be in. Like most people, I've lost a couple for various different methods and reasons. Um, one was self inflicted, some are not.
mhm.
But success isn't always in this term. Success isn't always you know roses and chocolate.
Yeah.
I've got growing up was a very close friend of mine that as we got older got in a dark place, and the success is the fact that I was able to talk him out of things. It was a very tough road and got him out of it. And to my knowledge, he is still around today. But I have to throw the caveat to my knowledge because we got so vulnerable and so tight. By the time we got past that, he wasn't able to talk to me anymore because we broke down so emotionally vulnerable, and we were at an age where it wasn't known that it was acceptable.
Hmm.
So the success is the fact that he's still here, but the downside is the fact that in the long term, unfortunately, I lost a friend because of what age group we were at when it happened.
Hmm.
So sometimes it's tough, but it's I still consider it a success because it was the goal. That's somebody we didn't lose, and
Yeah.
there's been others that I had no ability to. So looking back, it's like, man, I wish at the time I had something like this that could have maybe helped. And a couple of those were before you ever existed, so it wasn't even a chance of reaching out, type of thing. But it's you have avenues now where people can reach out and you can help people, and you've got, man, I mean, your methods of non-traditional therapy on top of the regular stuff is just growing exponentially. So there's always ways to reach out to people and connect with people. So in terms of success, I mean, you guys should be blessed. And I know that's not what you're here for, but the fact that you realize that you can see those blessings means that things are happening the way that you want to try to keep those numbers down as best we can, with what we're able to do.
And a recent study came out that the numbers peaked a little high after the withdrawal in Afghanistan. But the numbers are coming back and showing that we're making a difference, because it's uh, as most recent VA study shows, it's just over 17 a day. So
Mhm.
uh, the numbers are coming down. And as we continue to serve our core demographics. But with that, we've teen girls lead the way now. And that 16 to 24 range. And, we have some relationships with some schools where we go and talk to their JROTCs. We talk with their athletic programs, and we're trying to jump and get ahead of the curve. And on our suicide prevention education, we're able to tailor it towards them as well as to first responders and to veterans. So we can easily go from a police and fire academy to a school or to a business and do that. And and we get them involved on our community building things and our season of giving. We don't wrap the presents. That's 300 presents that nobody needs to see my horrible wrapping skills on. That's uh we let the athletic department at Capel High School, their student athletes, they wrap all the presents. There are a lot we have to rewrap, but uh, but
But if you did them, you'd have to rewrap 300. So
don't yeah,
there's that.
100's better than 300. So, um, but that's how we continue to make an impact. And we always make sure that uh, that we just start trying to get ahead of that curve. We honor somebody with the season of giving every year, just so that they have an idea of why we do it. They have an idea of our why. You know, and as Gil is saying here, one at a time. That's all we can do is we go one at a time. That's and hope that has that trickle effect. To where we don't see the results in the end, because if we're making an impact immediately and through our advocates that are across the country, then that's just going to trickle out into ways that we'll never know the results. And as long as those positive numbers keep coming in, that show that we're making an impact, we're just going to keep striving to do so. You know, yeah, it's one at a time, it's one day at a time, and one step at a time, and that's all we can do.
And there's a comment here that I'm not sure if this is all going to show up. Yeah, it will. Just said today marks 5 years since my nephew passed in a car accident. It weighs on the soul for the people you've lost, but we must overcome and become a better version of ourselves. The ones we've lost would have wanted that, and I think that's a tough part of it too.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to help other people, but I don't care what your situation is in life. Like, we're all going through something of some sort to some degree. So you kind of have to take care of yourself at the same time you're trying to help that one at a time, and it's a tough endeavor, which is why we focus on mental wellness to the degree that we do. And I've seen in my current capacity, like you're talking about the younger girls that are having issues lately, and unfortunately things go in trends just like this does, and these aren't trends that we want to talk about, but it's unfortunate reality. And I've seen that truth of that new current trend myself, the last year or two, and it's very unfortunate because and then this comes to just talking to people and trying to know your people, because if you go look on their socials after, if you don't know them, you would have thought nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it tough, is just talking to your people to the point that you know them, to watch out for things, because sometimes it's a tough road to follow.
And to Justin's comment, Judy Littlefield, Chad Littlefield's mom, and if you don't know who Chad Littlefield is, he was the guy that kind of kept Chris Kyle. He helped him a lot, and he was also killed with Chris on that day. And Judy was talking to her husband, who we all call Coach because he was a football coach for 41 years. After he passed, and said, "We got to become better, not bitter." And that's something that has stuck with everybody at the org, because that's something that whenever she comes around and she's around us, she continues to tell us, better, not bitter. And
that's deep, man.
And Jake, our CEO, he continuously reiterates that into us as well, because we're not just helping people that have gone through loss or, dealing with their own, but I mean, we take on a lot of loss too that can make us hard. And, sometimes you become a little bit callous, and then he'll say better, not bitter. And you're like, all right. And, it's kind of one of those little phrases that keeps you in check. And as long as you kind of keep it at the forefront, it keeps you right things, right reasons.
I'm gonna have to try to remember that, and I
Yeah.
would like to bet money that I've heard you say that before, but it that hits home because it's real easy for us to let things turn sour,
Yeah.
and it's crazy to look back and God bless Andy and his vision, but if I don't think anybody would have ever realized back then the trajectory that things could have taken to kind of create these avenues, and it's it's insane to look at yourself and realize that things can be better even when it feels like it's not, and that's where this community comes from.
Yeah.
Both what y'all do, both with the cigars, both with just trips, and the outdoors thing, it does great because it kind of puts you into yourself, and everybody treats it a little differently, which is why you have so many different things that you can do in the program, but it kind of helps you kind of disconnect and then reconnect in a way.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And that's a lot of what we focus on. There's, for me on the outdoor side of it, and I think a lot of people that really enjoy the outdoors is when you get that chance to get away from the concrete jungle and you're able to take in nature, and be able to see the stars at night. And there's just, whether you're on the beach or you're in the mountains or at a mud park in northern Louisiana, it's there's just something about it that's so relaxing and recharging and regenerating, because it slows you down. And that's one of the things that I appreciate so much about the outdoors. And like, and there's a lot that happens to it. And I think that's one reason why it's, in some way, somehow, whether it's technically outdoors or not, everything that we do is about getting you out of your house and building community. Because we have come to find that more community that you have, the more likely that maybe you don't need that, like, intense therapy or anything like that. But even if you do, you're more likely to go through it knowing that you got everybody that's standing right behind you that's always been there. But because you were shut inside, and locking your door, now they're here behind you, and
Yeah.
you're likely to take that step. And that's what's important, is these guys these guys and these women knowing that they can make that step and they got all the support behind them.
Yeah. And when you're among your peers, man, it definitely changes perspective. Helps
Mm-hmm.
helps everything a lot easier, smoother, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hollow down people. We love the term friendship therapy, and it
Oh yeah,
definitely applies here.
100%.
If you're so not everybody likes traditional therapy, and I don't. But no matter what it is, you have people around you. It's the support grows, and it's just I don't want to say easy, but relatively easier to
Yeah,
manage. Knowing that you're not alone, and you're never
it's
alone.
huge,
So,
man. That's probably the biggest aspect, man, is knowing you're not alone. But yeah, friendship therapy is definitely the way.
Yeah, when you brought up, when you get outdoors, I think that that's a primal thing that
Mm-hmm.
everyone experiences to some degree. Like when you detach yourself from this crazy world and you just are immersed in nature, getting close to God. That's what it is for
Mm-hmm.
me. Like it's just, it
mhm.
resets you completely. Like if you can get yourself out of this hustle and bustle for a couple of days, it's amazing what it does to your heart and your mind,
Yeah.
just as a recharge or a reset.
I
Yeah.
know this isn't a direct link, but As y'all all know, I love going on cruises, and yes, it's fun to go places and get off on ports and explore. But probably my favorite part of the cruise entirely is the sea days. I sit on the side of the boat, grab several cigars, and do nothing but relax and listen to the massive amount of water and the waves and the peace. And there's no hustle and bustle out there. There's no, you know, there's no party. There's no concerts. There's just no insanity. It's just out there, nothing but nature. And it's in a little different format than the nature you're referencing, but like that's my style
Hmm.
of recovery,
Yeah.
you know, is and Ellen knows, like, she'll go and she'll go do things, and she'll get out there and see that I'm just kind of in my mood, and sometimes she'll sit with me, and then sometimes she'll give me space and just know that I'm just resetting.
Mhm.
And no matter how much of a tech junkie you are, or a gaming nerd, or whatever the case is, nature does something to us.
Oh,
Hmm.
And
absolutely.
Chad's primal comment is, even if you're not an outdoorsy guy, it's still natural to kind of bond and reset with nature.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And
I mean, I just got back from a trip visiting my folks. They live in the mountains, and so I wouldn't categorize myself as a hiker per se. But once you complete one trail, you're like, all right, what's the next one? Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. And before you know
Yeah.
it, man, you've done three in one day, and it's super relaxing, man. It's great reset, great way to decompress. I mean, you can hear the trees and the breeze and things like that. I mean,
hmm
it's amazing.
yeah,
But also to
and
piggyback off of what Justin's talking about, working 7 days a week, being a father and a husband, rarely getting those moments. So he's thankful for being a brother of the Leaf. I would agree. Anytime I step into the underground cigar shop in Fort Worth, it's all that just hardworking folks. Just get
Hmm.
away for a moment, stop thinking about the reality that you have to live in, and just decompress and kick it with your bros or your sisters, whatever the case may be, and
yeah,
just to you know,
see, that's one reason why I think cigars work so well around like a campfire or even in a lounge, because they force you to slow down the same way that nature's going to force you to do it.
oh yeah,
Whether you're on a cruise ship or you're in the mountains or you're on a beach or wherever you're at, nature forces you to slow down because there's not the hustle and bustle. And if you're in a good spot in nature, you don't have a cell phone signal, so there's no
yeah,
Facebook to keep you occupied.
right,
oh
But
yeah,
like cigars bring that naturally too. That's something that you can easily do on a front porch or in a lounge or on a back patio, and it brings everybody together. We have a gentleman that leads our resiliency group, and he has like 25 guys that are rotating through his house at God knows what hours, and all they do is smoke cigars and talk, and talk about recovery, talk about things that they're going through, and all these different things, and it's something that brings them together, and it's like morphed and morphed and morphed to where now they have nicknames for the house instead of it's not his home anymore, it's another lounge,
that's awesome.
and it's uh so those are examples are across the board, to bring it full circle back to, smoking cigars, and you don't
Hmm.
even have to be an avid smoker. If you can just find one that suits you and you can take part, you know, that's just as big as anything else,
Yeah,
just provides more opportunity to go in even further, like you were talking about, something you can dive into, different brands, different tobaccos, things of that nature too. Or you can just find one you like, stick with it, and sit back and relax.
yeah.
and I appreciate that. Although Justin isn't able to be on the show today, he's able to watch on his phone, because he's given us some good comments here. And he said,
Yeah.
"Fun fact: campfire gives you the same as red light therapy." And I wouldn't have thought about that, but as soon as he said it, it's like this light bulb.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
in the winter, I pull the fire pit out, and I'll sit out there and just watching the red glow, even if I'm just by myself.
Yeah, that
You
speaks
know, it,
volumes too. I mean, every dude I know loves fire, especially around a
Yeah.
campfire. So I
yeah,
never knew that little fun fact. That makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
It does.
mesmerized by it. You just stare off into it, and you're just
It's funny. We work with people that do red light therapy all the time. They've never brought that up. I'm going to have to say
that
something
is
to people that do
pretty
our
badass though.
And it I think the people watching, especially those who missed the first time you're around, I think it's becoming blatantly obvious why, me and you had the connection when we started talking about coming on the show, and it was just like instant light bulb because the both different purposes, but in this aspect, kind of come together in a similar format.
Just
And I'll explain Madison's chuckle here. Just look
love
at
it,
how
man.
great I
Love
have
it.
made fire. Him and his movie references.
I have made fire. Love that.
But like, we may not throw this on the terms of being therapy, but like we're doing on this show, we're not going down the cigar rabbit hole like we usually do on most of our shows where we're talking about, products and manufacturers and events and that sort of thing. Obviously today's a different topic of conversation, but we do this thing when we're not on the show, right? We get together and talk, and what we do with Hollow Down is, it's purely random, but we have our virtual perf sessions where sometimes it's three of us, and like the last time, it was damn near 20 of us getting together in a virtual room where we can't physically get together because we're spread out across the country, but there's people that people you like, people you trust. And then you have the people come in that are getting to meet new people with the same interest, just getting on there, smoking cigars, relaxing, talking for a few hours, just like you would at the lounge or around that campfire, giving you those avenues to talk about whatever. And sometimes we're talking about work, we're talking about vacations, we're talking about, movies or fun. And then every once in a while, you notice somebody needs to talk about something. Well, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
You're already around people doing the same thing with the same interest, bonding over this. And it gives you a very easy access road to open up and talk to people that are not going to look down on you. You're building that brotherhood, that sisterhood without any judgment, any shame. Doesn't matter what it is. So it definitely lines up with kind of what we're talking about. It's insane in a good way. And I don't know another way to put that. It's something that I would have never thought years ago would have the type of impact on people that it actually does. And it's been that way long before we came around. It's just being able to put it out in the open and make sure people realize they're not alone. You have people that you can talk to and come together in various forms and fashions. And it's just very relaxing. It doesn't matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, it's amazing how things will just kind of morph into things, like um like even like our guys poker night, like we have a combination of uh fire, police, civilians, and veterans, and it's funny because sometimes it's just a bunch of crap talking about hands, and then there's a table over here where a guy is helping give everybody the lowdown on how to navigate the VA with either bills or their ratings or whatnot. And then there's another guy over here talking about his service making an impact on the other people that are around them. And it's kind of more towards, it can be, like when the older sons come that are like in their late teens and early 20s, it's kind of, that will kind of almost be the goofball table unless you have like that one specific guy, and then all of a sudden they're wrapped around these stories, and then you have the other guy that's helping these guys over here, and then you have this kind of more in-depth table that's right here, and in between hands there's just a bunch of cross talking and just almost silence in some ways as you listen to one person talk. And then you have like another table that's over here, and you can tell just kind of like what hands are how the river and everything's going, because it's like, how'd I win with the 2 and a 3, and, uh and you get to hear those different kinds of things, and it seems like it morphs and morphs more every month.
Mhm.
And like with what you guys done with Hollow Down, it's something with intent, and it's genuine. And I think that's why your Earth sessions have morphed into so much more, like whether it's 3 or
Yeah.
whether it's 20. And we find that with a lot of our programs too, because we'll have 3 or 4 people even sometimes just be at just one of our peer groups or at one of our things, and then it will be just as long as a session as like 8 people, and at Carry the Load this past year, our base camp, we're used to about 150 people staying in base camp overnight. And this year we only had about 40, but it created this thing to where guys were connecting more. There was more, uh, guys were, everybody was being more intentional with their conversations, and they're more genuine. And, you know, it, and it was just something that brought out more, even though we had fewer people that stayed in base camp for that 24-hour evolution. More came out of it, between the three of our organizations that were staying there and all that. And so it's really amazing how when things are just genuine, there's intent behind it and things like that, it just seems to grow. Yes.
No.
Listen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less people, less social anxiety makes sense. That's kind of where I was thinking is having, less people isn't always a bad thing, because there's a purpose for that, whether we or y'all realize it or not. Somebody needed that,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
and
That's what I love about the Holodown, man. It's a super genuine cast. I always enjoy it. Always. Even if
We always
it's
enjoy you, brother.
or chatting or over chatting or anything, like just shooting the shit is everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to
the
say
people that you get to know
hello
with.
to James, who popped in there for a second. He's my brother, the Leaf from the SV. He's a good dude. He's in recovery too, so
Yep.
as am I.
And, he,
24 years I'll be celebrating this year.
Oh,
and
congratulations, man.
Yeah.
if you see that comment, he said kind of what we're talking about. He said that his favorite meeting is his monthly cigar meeting. Getting
Yeah.
to come together with people.
Yeah.
And what's up, Tommy? I'm
Tommy
glad you're
Hall, what's up, brother?
hanging out with me, man. That's a good dude. And see, this is a good example too. Tommy's a guy that I wouldn't have ever met except for the connections that I personally got to build through Chad and the people he knows. So you end up meeting people, and then you can carry this back. Me and Chad met through another group. It's just the connections that you build.
I think Tommy might be as tall as Mad Money.
Really?
He's close.
Yes.
Holy shit.
He played college ball.
Giant too.
I think he's Tommy, how tall are you, brother? I think he's 6'6" at least. What are you,
Because
Matt?
I do. I
6'7"?
physically look up to him like I do you, Mad. So,
Are you
just a second.
6'7"?
Congrats, James said, "What's up, Chad?"
Yeah.
Madison?
Yeah. 6'7".
Yeah, I don't know if he's 6'7", but he's really close.
I dig it.
Oh.
There's not many of us. Holy fuck.
6'8". He's got you by an inch.
Holy shit. I gotta
He's a
work
Goliath of a man.
Now I tell you,
got a giant
tell you
heart
what was
too.
on a non-sober moment here. And Gil said, "Tommy, how's it going, brother?" Even got the guys talking on the show. It was really cool. At PCA, I didn't realize Stefan Lampert was as tall as he was.
Yeah, he's a giant too.
And we see him from across the room. Tommy hollers at him. They come back, and 6'8" Tommy. And about the time they come, they're looking eye to eye, and I'm just like, bro.
I think Tommy might have him by an inch or two. Like Stefan's like 6'6" or 6'7".
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some tall dudes in the industry, man. Like, you don't really realize it until you're in person with them. It's a lot of fun. Because typically they're in this sit down, kind of podcast.
Right, you don't realize.
Yeah, then when you get up near them, you're like, holy shit, you're giant.
Yeah, I'm 7 foot.
Right.
Just
411.
mean,
I have
tell
a really big
camera.
high stool.
Yeah,
yeah,
bad camera angle.
Like Fratello's owner Omar, like you can tell he's kind of tall in some of his shots that he does, but man, when you actually meet him, he's a towering fella. Nice as all get out.
I mean, Terrence Riley was the same way. I never realized how tall he was.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when I say somebody's tall because flat foot without shoes, I'm 6'2". So
Yeah,
I mean, it's just I'm not short, and then I get around these people in the industry, and I'm just got to physically look up to say hi. It's fun. Has nothing to do with anything else other than it just being an interesting fact,
yeah, it's pretty
but
fun though.
man, we speaking of events, we may have to. I'm gonna have to bring Adrian. I'm gonna have to bring you around next time NFG circles around and let you
Oh
meet.
hell yeah! Like I'm already thinking things in my head on how we can incorporate one
Right.
tribe, or like how we can use the underground for a one tribe meetup or anything like that. Whatever they need.
Yeah.
To.
And
Yeah.
me being in Louisiana, underground's not my home shop like it is where Madison's right there. But when I go over there, that's a place to go to from on the Fort Worth side. It's just Madison and some other guys and Don, the guy that owns it, like the reference the fact that underground's a gauntlet, and it's two purposes. One, when they're throwing test blends and stuff, it's a great place for everybody to testing things out. But that's because they're being honest, they're being genuine, they're giving your opinions. But that aspect kind of carries over into what just happens with the people.
Yeah.
So it's
very genuine folk.
And not to say that other places aren't like that. That's just our, personal example here is just having a place with people that you bond with, doing the same thing, talking with. It's just fun.
Oh yeah.
And it's not always going to turn into, a deep dive session. Sometimes it's just fun, and that's what you need too. But it's great to have places to come, and I'd be interesting to see if we can't bring Adrian along, even if he's just coming as just a normal patron, just to kind of meet people.
I can definitely make it happen easy. I'll just get an extra badge, toss it to him. He can off the grounds and enjoy it. Yeah,
that's an easy fix for, I'd say, for us, but especially for you.
And like at Underground, I want to say it's probably like 85% military folk, and the rest is civilian.
That's actually probably pretty accurate.
Yeah,
if not, it's probably pretty close.
It would be a great place to check out, just to peruse. I'll happily meet you up there one day. And
okay.
Yeah, everybody. It's a really great place. Really good spot. It's basically essentially a black bunker, and then outside is a courtyard. You can kind of go out there and relax a little. It's
courtyard is awesome.
Yeah,
we spent most of our time when we were there.
Yeah, it's a great setup.
Well, I'm due for another DFW week, and I'm gonna have to figure out when I can get over there and catch up with you guys in person. Takes a little bit more effort for Chad to do something like that,
We'll appreciate it though, man. It was fun riffing with y'all on that one what is it, live we did or recording?
Yeah, man, that was Justin's right around the corner. We'll definitely let you know too, brother.
Oh yeah.
The what show was that? Let me check real quick because that was where are we at? It was
March, I think. Yeah.
Episode 86. We recorded it in March, but it was pre-recording on purpose. We pushed it in April, and since we were coming in FG, the night we hung out at Underground, and then the night before the actual main event, we just went across the street to the warehouse, got away from people, and me, Chad, Justin, and Mad just put up the camera, talked, and smoked various cigars, and just basically shot the shit and hit record for a while.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it turned out to be a pretty fun conversation that we just made a show out of. But
that's how most of the shows are, though. They're just basically record, smoke, and talk shit.
Yeah,
it's pretty much our master plan right there.
I do look forward.
See what happens.
We give a starting point, and then whatever happens after that is what happens, man. And
like when I don't have to come on here and actually talk about, oddly enough, my own brands, it's so much fun. Like it's super refreshing. As much as I look like
every once in a while,
we cigar. I mean, it's fun to not do that from time to time.
Yeah, but it's fun to hear about some of the stuff going on with you too.
Oh yeah,
so.
It is.
It's a good time,
but to your point, it's easier when there's just no script and you're just
we're just winging it,
having fun.
Yeah.
and rolling with it.
And sometimes we have obviously our personal conversations off air, but sometimes we've bonded and learned things about each other in the middle of a freaking podcast. That
Yeah.
so the conversation never stops.
Oh yeah. It's a cycle.
So yeah. So it definitely all ties in together with the whole atmosphere of today's show and today's purpose, right?
It's amazing
bonding.
the little things that you can catch when you're actually like listening, and opportunities like this where you guys get together in person or on the Hollow Down Lounge, and you sit back and it kind of makes you listen because it'll be pretty evident if you're just kind of in your own la la land, and that's what uh, as somebody that takes part in a couple of our peer programs and also, being a program manager, that's one of the things that I just appreciate too, because I'll catch things sometimes and I'll be like, I've known that guy for like 5 or 6 years. I haven't known that at all, or,
Yeah.
and, and those are unique little moments, whether it's in person or in a group setting, that's, it's, it's intentional listening, it's not just
Mhm.
feeling like you got to be there and you just start to wander off. It's intentional, so the conversations are more meaningful, whether it's just having fun or if you break down into something serious.
Yeah. Super true.
And Tommy, I see your comment. I'm gonna mention that in just a second, but in the terms of, I'll throw this out there real short and sweet because we just changed this. We have our Hollow Down virtual room, our HERF room, and it's on Whereby browser or an app. We do host. I'm going to use the word sanction, not like it's a big thing, where we try to, at least one or two of us from the podcast can be on there at the same time with you guys. But we've opened up the room. So if two or three of y'all want to get together and we're not there, you don't need us. Y'all can go on together. Whereby.com/hollow-down. It's an open room. If any of y'all ever need that space to get on there and hang out with each other, even if we are not hosting a HERF, it is open to anybody in the Holodyne family. You can go on there, talk, hang out with each other. So it gives y'all an open space to do that as well.
That's awesome. I didn't know that
So
was a thing. I dig it.
that's a very new change. I was able to unlock the room and keep it going. So something for people to have an access to jump in if they want to hang out, regardless of whether we're actually hosting it or not.
I think you should put an announcement on the page like that,
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
because I think there were some guys that probably would use it. Like I had a guy the other day ask me, "Hey, can we do a HERF?" And I didn't even think about the fact that room was unlocked.
Because it's such a new change. Like for a while, one of us had to start the meeting,
Right.
and was able to unlock it. So it's as long as the website's not doing any maintenance out of our control, it is, it's there, open to use. And yeah, Justin, I was just about to say that he said we can pin it to the top of the group. Yeah, I'll make it a featured post so it stays up there. But
you had some comments. You said Tommy had some comment or something.
Yeah, so I have an answer, but I want to ask him. So he said that he just smoked the new Warped Cocodrillo Toro. Before I answer this, Tommy, you have the Warped Cocodrillo, and then you have the two new Cocodrillo. I think it's black and something else that I forget its name. Blanco. And there's a second one. Are you talking about the original Cocodrillo or those two editions? I know for a fact Chad and I have both had the original Cocodrillo. I know Gil's had the Cocodrillo. Chad's got the Cocodrillo hat.
The Toro just came out, I think, Pat, and I haven't tried that yet.
Well,
just a new format, because normally it comes in a smaller. Cocodrillo came out in a smaller format.
Because the box that I have of the Cocodrillo is the Toro, but I got it just a few months ago, so I don't know. Maybe I just got it when it first dropped. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I only learned about it because of Gil told me to smoke it.
Have you smoked one yet?
Yeah, it instantly became probably my favorite Warped now. Like, I love that. And Gil said he smoked all three of the Cocodrillos. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I like Warped, but I think that one became my instant favorite of their portfolio. It's a great cigar. I don't remember what I rated it off the top of my head, but I knew I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I
I
haven't
have to
tried
look
one
that
yet.
up. I've never heard of it.
Matt, I can probably send you one because I got I still have almost the full box now because I
You
got
know
some.
about Warped though, right, Madison?
Oh
Not
hell
just
yeah! I used to
yeah,
be a
yeah, okay.
slut for Warped
Just the Cocodrilo.
up until probably like 2021, give or take. I mean, I was in the drop. I was all over it. I loved it. But yeah, once we started producing more and more cigars, I just didn't have time for personal
Well,
collection.
yeah, and when you're smoking, you got to continually smoke your
Yeah,
stuff. You're
I mean,
checking
Yeah,
it all the
it's
time,
crazy.
right?
But yeah, yeah, not even slightly wrong. Yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of
um,
like your job at that point, smoking your own cigars
yeah.
becomes a full-time job.
Funny how that works.
I can see that for sure.
it's a different. We joke about having to smoke cigars, but sometimes Matt actually has to smoke cigars.
It's crazy. We'll get into blending sessions. I remember we were in one factory. There was no ventilation of any kind. It was a room. It was like a really large, like coat closet, is what it felt like. And we went through 27 cigars. Now you're not smoking the whole thing, but like
Right.
still, like maybe I don't know. Everybody's different. I would do probably like a quarter of it, but we're smoking it, setting it down, rinsing, doing all these things, but there's no airflow. So after a while,
Mm,
you're just like, oh my god, like what's happening? And it feels like my head's gonna explode. All these things.
Giant
right.
cloud of smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gnarly, man. But
That's
then,
no good.
but the other side of that is you got all these dudes in the factory. They can do it nonstop. It's wild. Like I'm over
It's used
here
to, I guess.
freaking out, can't breathe, and the guy next to me is like every day for him. It's just wild.
It's great. It's crazy because like as much as I smoke cigars, I mean we did an average. I'm probably about 4 cigars a day if you take the whole year. So it's just constantly. And
Yeah,
of course, some days that means one, some days it means eight, whatever. But he, as much as I smoke, and I don't retro hell as much as Chad does, but I'm used to that draw through. But re-inhaling the outside smoke like still throws me off. It's so
No, that's no good, man.
that's no good. But when you're in the factory, it's about impossible not to when you
yeah.
just got smoke everywhere.
Hey, and the
So,
craziest part of that 27 cigar day is we ended up not even working with that factory, so we just did all that for nothing.
oh,
It was crazy.
well, you don't know till you know, right?
Yeah, I was trying to find a good Connecticut and Candela to work with, and we just couldn't make it happen.
Ooh, Candela's tough, man. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's really tough actually, because like some of the Connecticut's and some of the Candelas is just real fragile and will just break if you roll it incorrectly.
Yeah. So
So,
Tommy said that is the new Toro Grande, the 654 Habano wrapper, not the Blanco. So yeah, I have not had the Blanco. I've had that one. So fantastic cigar, Tommy. I'll tell you that myself.
I have to get
Um,
on it.
I have not had the new ones yet. I've had other things I've gotten since. So at some point I'll get around. But yeah. But yeah, I'll throw this before we get to the end. So we've talked obviously Adrian with One Tribe coming back. We're talking about all the things that we do and personal friend I know, but it works well with the channel because the CFW stuff that we do Cigars for Warriors. It all kind of ties into this big old family of support, right? And right now we are actually in our summer drive for Cigars for Warriors. If this is the first time y'all catching this on the show, Cigars for Warriors obviously donate cigars to deployed, transition, placed troops that don't or may not have access to cigars. Request care packages, CFW sends them to them. As all donation volunteer based, they need cigars and cash to help make this work. Cigars are kind of an obvious. They need that to send to these guys. And since we are not a brick and mortar, we don't have a donation box. We do a drive twice a year where you can send cigars in to us, or you can send us cash and we can either turn that into shipping costs that goes directly to them. We don't keep any of it. Or I can get cigars on your behalf. It's completely your choice what you want us to do with that. We do it for 2 months at a time. So right now it's going to the end of July. And we have a kickback giveaway that we do at the end just for a little bit of fun. Right now, anybody that donates just 5 cigars or $25 gets you an entry into it. And at the end of the drive, we'll spin that wheel and see who gets it. And unplanned, since Mad's on here, the Giveaway right now is actually sponsored by BL Luxuries with James Garcia, but the initial pack is some Ohana cigars.
Some
That
brand
I,
Ohana Nui.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see if I still got that picture up here. I'll throw that. Yeah, I still got it. So this is that little giveaway pack. It's just some of his toasted marshmallow Maduros in the middle, and then
Those are
the
badass stickers, man.
left end Hamaka Maka, a couple Ohana left hand stickers, and then we threw some hollow down stickers in there. So if you would like to help us support that endeavor, you can send us a message, email us again, thehollowdown@gmail.com, find us on Facebook. Doesn't matter which one of us you reach out to, we'll hook you up. And at the end of the drive, we send a big combined care package to CFW from the Hollowdown family. So
Both of those cigars are fire.
Oh, they're
they
delightful.
are.
Maka Maka and
Yeah.
Toasted Marshmallow are just awesome. Love them both.
Hey, are those stickers? Can you buy those off the Hollowdown
You
shop?
can get some sent to you, I'm sure.
No, so the stickers,
Man, those are sick.
I make the stickers separately.
Yeah.
We usually use them for like we throw them in giveaways and stuff. But anybody that wants to buy some, it will be fairly cheap. Just reach out to me personally because they're not on the site. I generally make those to just throw into things.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
He'll send you some, Madison.
yeah, I'll
let him
send you
kid
some regardless.
You know, you just cost Madison like what, 40 cigars today? Was that what your donation was? I saw go up.
So far, oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
I'm
Madison is going to match the drive up to an undetermined number at this point. So I've already got 40 cigars in. So
gonna
Hell
go
yeah.
in tonight. That's what I'm gonna work on tonight. Is going and starting to put my package together. Get
I
it
got to
down
go
to
bring
you.
my own humidor, just turn some in. So
mhm.
outside of
so-
just like what I'm matching, but like I'll have some stuff to send as well.
Okay, cool.
Right
You can give
on.
And,
my tickets to anybody else in the Hollowdown or stickers. How about that?
It's
Stickers.
always
So
it's always a,
Are you
so
gonna
go
have to
ahead.
match yourself, Madison? Like if you donate and then you're gonna have to match
Well,
yourself?
technically, yeah. I mean,
Man, costing you
can't go
double.
back on that. So yeah. Damn it.
'Cause he did say technically Ohana was matching, so I guess
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah, that's true.
But we obviously there's always a slow roll getting donations in because we're virtual, so people are shipping them to. So right now, I put in my initial donation, which I always do, through N40.
Words are tough.
Words are hard.
Words
This
are
is for
hard.
Madison real here. The words are hard, man. But we've also got an initial donation from Justin Elliott that was $100 cash that is going to go straight to their shipping costs. So curious to see what all we get in. And we've had drives that were less than 100, and then we've had drives like the last one was over 1,000. So you never you never know. And Gil said he's working on his tomorrow, Friday. So it's a big endeavor for us, and it kind of ties into not to derail from one tribe, but it kind of ties into this big support for everybody. And like we talked about in the show all day today is, it gives avenues to people. Well, this is something the guys who are actually over there in the middle of it right now, wherever they happen to be at, giving them access to have the product so they can stop and relax and, kind of downwind a little bit. So it's a big thing that we do. We love it. We do it twice a year. So if y'all, if you want to help us with that, reach out to us. And you can always just put a question down in the show notes when the show reposts, because as y'all know, the live gets reposted after a couple days. So you can obviously put that down there and ask us questions. Doesn't matter how you reach out to us. We all know point you in the right direction. So, but before we jump off, I just want to remind everybody. So for One Tribe, again, if you need any support, whether it's for you, whether it's for somebody else, reach out to these guys. They do a fantastic job. You've heard a few things that Adrian has talked about today. Their information's up there on the screen. It'll be down in the show notes as well. So great place for support, great place for camaraderie and various types of therapy, no matter what you or someone else may need. So give these guys a shout out. You can also donate, buy some merch on their site to help them out with their endeavors as well. It does take a lot of time, money, and energy to do these things. So we want to give them the support as well.
Or if you know of a place, because they're big on doing like retreats and things like that and activities, if you have
Mm-hmm.
connections or know of a place that would be willing to sponsor or host them in some regard, please reach out to them.
Yeah. And with that, just because this is a question that I get a lot of times when I'm out in a community engagement event, is our resources are nationwide. Uh,
Right,
our
right.
client services manager, the more specifics we have, the better off we are. And sometimes, if you're in rural America, maybe those resources might be a little ways away, but we'll find them. Um, we just found some resources for a guy in Champaign, Illinois. We found them for the middle of nowhere, Iowa and Kansas, to Washington D.C., New York, Boston, L.A. Where it's a lot of people ask because most of our stuff is so located between Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. As far as our events and stuff, that's because we're based in Dallas Fort Worth. But so anybody can reach out to us anywhere, and our client services Rolodex, for those of us that know what that is over 4,000 strong. So
Mm-hmm.
if we don't have that resource, we will find it for you. And that's one reason why we work with other organizations as well, because if we don't have that resource or that program, we will do what we can to find it.
It's a network of support, by
Yes.
all means. Well, Adrian, I appreciate your time coming to hang out with us again, talking more about One Tribe, and then whatever else we ran through the day. Definitely support you guys, and it's a good endeavor. Definitely gives us an excuse to talk about you and let somebody that may or may not have heard about what y'all do at this point. Um, and a lot of people knew the original name and didn't necessarily know the transition, so now they know that as well if they missed that memo.
Yeah.
Um, One Tribe is 22 Kill, just the name change for its purposes. So, um, thanks for giving us a little bit of time again, and obviously something we'll do from time to time to talk about things that you guys do.
Yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it, man. And it's all about awareness and community. More people that know, the more people are going to get help. So, and I always have fun when I come on. I'm glad that I was able to come on again, and looking forward
yeah,
to the next time.
Yeah,
and
Pat, can we put up the One Tribe, the same logo you just put up right on the page tomorrow? Just I think
absolutely,
that's a good idea. That you
absolutely,
should probably throw that up every once in a while just to
yeah, that's a good mark. I'll do
give
that as
people a
well.
resource and keep that in the back
Yeah,
of their minds if they are looking for help. There's places
may
to
just put it
look.
at. I'll, I'll throw that up in the featured stuff. And
Yeah,
thanks for hanging out, Gil. Said
Yeah,
thanks,
thanks,
guys.
Bill.
Keep the faith.
Hell yeah.
my brother.
So another great show. Mad, Chad, thanks for giving us some time. And I know Madison, we just pull you in randomly, so you don't have to be
Yeah.
here. You just do it to come talk with us. So
I love
appreciate it as well.
I like being part of the panel. It's good times.
It's good, man. We love things around here, and we love the camaraderie. So
It's hilarious.
I know we have not thrown up every comment today, so we have not had the chance to throw up every comment. There's been some other good fun comments in the group chat over on the side. So
Oh yeah.
that's another part of it. You get to talk to us on the show, and you talk to each other off the side. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, thanks guys, and we'll wrap it up, and we'll come back around and do this again soon. So you guys down in Hollow Down Land, y'all know the drill. Stay safe and hollow down.